Okay, we have our first cable row done, and I'm going to show you a couple things you can do with this cable row. The first is going to be cable stitch alternating, and this is a decorative stitch that you can do with your cable row. We're going to begin the same way. We're going to come up through that valley on the back. Bring it through to the left. And now we're going to do a series of just 3 cable stitches. We're going to do an up cable, which is going to meet the down cable of that first row. And then when we get to that third stitch, we're not going to go all the way through to the back. We're going to angle our needle up, and it's going to stay in the same pleat, but it's going to come up through that pleat over the top of the second up cable. Now that gave us 3 stitches below, and now we're going to work 3 stitches above the line. We're going to start with a down cable, and then an up cable, and then another down cable, but we're not going to go all the way through the back. We're going to angle our needle down, and we're going to come out below that down cable that's below. That gave us 3 cables above. And now we'll do 3 cables below again. And then you can just continue to work all the way across that row, or just go half of the row, alternating 3s above and below. And that just gives you a little added decorative stitch to your cable row. Now another idea that you can do with your cable row is you can do a double cable row, and you're going to work directly below your first row of cable stitches, and where there is a down cable on your original row, it's going to meet up with an up cable of your next row. That's going to be a decorative row. So I started from behind up through the valley, and then I'm going to start with a down, or an up cable, I'm sorry, and a down cable, and you're just going to kiss that red row right with the blue row and not have any space in between. And you just continue to work your cable all the way across that row, and that makes a pretty double cable row. Okay, we're ready to move on. The next stitch we're going to learn is called the baby wave. Once again, you're going to come up in the valley with your needle, and you're going to bring that needle through that pleat to the left, and we're going to take 1 cable stitch across, keeping your needle horizontal with that holding row pleating thread. Okay, bring that all the way through. Now, we're going to eyeball between row 2 and row 3, and we're going to look for halfway between. We're going to go to the very next pleat, and we're going to do a down cable. Horizontally across with your needle, and then go back up to row 2 and take 1 stitch up cable. And then you're just going to continually work all the way across that row, doing the baby wave. One thing that might be easy for you to remember is on row 2, all of the cable stitches are going to be an up cable. All the cable stitches on that half row are going to be a down cable. So just continually work all the way across that row. I want you to do a whole row of baby waves. Or if you want, if you really think you have it down pat pretty good, do a half row. And then I'm going to show you something right here. You can do a baby wave cable stitch combination where, say you take 3 cable stitches, and then drop down and do a baby wave. And just do a 1 stitch baby wave, and then go back up to your row and do a 3 cable. That's a combination stitch. You can also go, say, 3 cables on top, drop down, and do 3 cables on the half row, and back up and do 3. So that is your homework for this week, is to do the baby, well, do some of these, and then do your baby waves, and do your baby wave combinations.